Hello, it's me, Ashley Elbow.
Hey. Hey.
Double hooch!
What? Oh my god, did we tell them about the game
I don't know.
that we can make you play while drinking the terrible hooch?
I don't think you did. I think you mentioned it, but you didn't tell anybody about it.
What? Okay.
Alright.
It's doing the echo thing. Please make it stop. It's a lot. He doesn't like to turn that off until it drives me mad. How's everybody doing tonight? Morning. Good morning, Galazdian. Yeah, so Dane has the terrible hooch that we're working towards.
Hooch, hooch, hooch.
But while we were looking at games the other night, we found a game that he should probably play while drinking the terrible hooch. It can only make it better. I was going to say 3 words, but it's really 4, but one of them's 2. Running simulator, which I didn't know existed. Space. So running simulator in space with werewolves. It looks like it's going to be awful.
It does.
So we'll see how Dane does. A running simulator in space with werewolves. I didn't give anyone my cooties.
She didn't give me her cooties.
Mm-mm. That was good.
So how's everybody doing, other than having cooties, apparently?
That's what we thought, Oscar Wolf. Oscar Wolf says that's just convoluted enough to be amazing.
Yeah.
All the styles look like they change. Things like it looks like it's gonna be amazing and effed up. So we figured, what better time for Dane to play it than while he's drinking terrible hooch.
Hooch.
Well, Etiquette, the question is, you like 2 of those 3 things, and I'm gonna guess that it's space and werewolves. But I also don't like running, but do I like watching Dane try to run on the video games? And I might. We don't know yet. Dane looks like no.
There's no way this ends well.
It sure as heck ain't right. I'm glad you had a day off, Galazdian. I feel like you probably need a lot of days off.
I would agree with that.
Kat, what are you thinking?
Thinking would be a big step.
Don't do that. Just maybe don't. He's like, but it's fun.
It's like on the alternatively, how about yes?
How about yes, I do that. No, buddy. It's bad, don't do it.
Have you thought about maybe, yes, I should do that? Concerned. I'm concerned that you're considering running a half marathon.
That sounds like a concerning thing.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Yeah, I've got a friend that keeps training for marathons, and he keeps posting his time on social media for things, and he'll be like, oh, this was a terrible time, blah, blah, blah. And it just all makes me very tired.
Lululemon?
The pants? We're both just like the...
You can run pants marathons? Those are 2 things I hate.
Pants and marathons. He doesn't mean to offend, by the way. If you love pants and marathons,
he's saying.
I'm like throwing in like. We don't want to offend people who may like pants and marathons.
I didn't know they were from Canada.
Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Guys, we tried to get them.
Hi, buddy.
We tried to get them a
Cattail.
laser toy. Hi, cat butt. We tried to get them a laser toy, and that didn't go well. Jack.
Killer cat.
No.
Leave that alone.
We're both just like, yay, he's cute now. Oh, look, it's Life with Jack. So yeah, we tried to get him a laser pointer thing. Get both of them that. And we did, and we played with it for like 10 minutes, and then the laser died. So that was pretty great.
Didn't last very long.
I'm glad that we all had that time to learn that they really like laser things.
Don't bite that.
It's like I already have. My goal is to run it, so you can't puff me with it.
I can puff you with it
Anymore.
without the straw. A time, yeah, a short time was had by all. Yes.
A time.
Jack. Turns out this is really hard to do with the cat body in the way. Apparently
See, that's rude. Your work has rules about what pants you can wear?
Donald used to do.
Alright, I just spilled coffee down myself. That's pretty great.
Yay!
Woohoo, enjoy. Let's see how many coffee states I can get by the end of this.
Oh, probably a lot.
Jack, no. Why are you bad?
I can't help it.
Yeah, look at that. I caught you.
It's like, yeah, I didn't like that, so...
I'm going to go over here now. Really doesn't like being caught. Being caught is not his thing.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not a fan.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, like what are the pants? Okay, but Winco wants either jeans or slacks, and I can't wear jeans. You can't wear jeans? And what do they mean by slacks? Because I used to have some really nice, like they weren't that nice, but they looked sort of like slacks, but they were
slackish.
They were a little stretchy. They were fake slacks, is what I'm saying. And I got away with it. I felt sneaky.
What might call them slack-like?
Now they have like yoga pants that look like slacks. Your autism says jeans are the enemy. Oh, that's fair, I guess. Some jeans I really like. Some jeans I can't do. Oh, you can't handle stretchy pants either? Yeah. Like the really rough, like Kmart work jeans are not gonna, they're not meant for my body. So I'm with you on that. Look at this. You don't need any of it. Also, look at the floor. It's beautiful. It's in your tube. Oh, I'm going to get it. If you're not going to get it, I'm going to get it. Okay. I'll play with that in your tube. You need yourself. He's like, no, I pulled it out. Now you're supposed to put it back in.
You stay in your tube.
Ooh, corduroys are a problem for me. I used to wear them as a kid, but now my brain tells me that corduroys are terrible. I can't handle the noise, the shh, 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 as I'm walking around. I don't like it when my thighs have a soundtrack. Sorry, was that too much information?
No, it's just a fun phrase.
I'm deaf too, but for some reason, like, so here's the fun thing. There's a whole lot of sounds that I just don't hear, and a whole lot of tones that, unless they're really loud, I don't hear. So, like, video games, when I wear headsets, even video games I've played for a long time, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a whole new world of sound here. Like, there's all kinds of cool stuff happening that I never knew of. But certain sounds, just my brain really hears them. And it's usually annoying, strange sounds, like buzzing. And what's fun is most of the time, Dane hears way better than me. This is very loud. I feel like I'm fighting it. Am I fighting it? Can you guys hear it at all? But there'll be just weird noises, and I'll be like, what is that buzz? Dane's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'll slowly track it down, and as we get closer, I'll be like, oh, I hear it. Yeah, there's totally a buzz happening, and I heard it in, like, the other part of the house. Like, it's very strange that there's just certain sounds. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I think it is like that. Galazian, sometimes, so weed smoke makes me physically ill, like it makes me nauseous. Thank you, Pipe Man. And there are times when I don't even smell it, but I start to feel sick a little bit, and then like after that moment, like I'll be like, what the? Yeah, no, I think it's exactly like that. I think there's just certain things. I don't know, like I can smell a Starbucks from like 10 miles away. It's not really smell, but I can feel it.
She has a Starbucks sense. Her sister was complaining about not being able to find a Starbucks on the way home from somewhere yesterday, and how big of a pain that was. I was like, you should have taken your Ashley with you. She can always find a Starbucks.
Hey, Jack, I got an idea. How about no?
He's like, I don't like that word.
It's like, I don't like that word. I don't like that idea.
Like, that's a bad word.
So we also got a glove that's supposed to be for, like, petting them and getting the hair off. He really does like my plastic ball of yarn, though. And what he and his sister have decided is that it's great to rip off of my hand and then attack, own, and sit on. Pikeman, do we know you? Like, how Dane might know who you are in real life. I don't know who you are in real life. Thank you, though, so much. And we miss seeing people literally anywhere outside of our house in the computer screen. But I really miss Rose City. I mean, Oscar Wolf. Oh my God, the cats totally own the thing. I really miss, like, last year we saw, because we used to live in Portland and we got to see everybody and eat all the food that we'd missed, and like we convinced people that weren't from Portland, like friends of ours, to meet up and to take a lift all the way out to Beaverton for some Mexican food that we loved and missed. Like, we're like, no guys, it's really far away. And it's kind of a hole in the wall, but it's the best. Oh, we don't know you? Are you sure?
Secrets.
Secrets? Oh no. Thank you.
Full Metal Spartan.
Thank you. Hooch.
Hooch!
No, it just like caught me. It's weird to see it just typed out.
Yeah.
Video games. I know.
Video games.
Just.
Ooh, hydrate.
What?
Drunk.
Boop.
Make sure I'm not gonna run over cats.
We have to say we miss it because that's the one you go to. We don't have to say it. Like, we're terrible. We'll be like, you're the only
Double dab.
We'll be like, no, you're the only reason we like that show. We hate that show. No, we don't hate that show.
There's a lot to like about Portland, Monroe City.
Well, and last year, it was so nice being back in Artist Alley. We miss you too.
We do.
Like, seriously, I feel like I'm gonna be even stranger than usual when we see people in person again.
Oh God.
We're just gonna be like, you're real.
Are you a real person?
Like, just sit there and poke people for like the first
You're not a
week.
figment of my imagination, are you?
If you start seeing random Twitter feed, like, things about people being like, this weird ass bitch on the plane kept poking me and looking at me like she wasn't sure what was going on, you'll be like, oh God. Were they on that? Yep. Oh, that's where Ashley's going. I wonder. It was me. Should have let her sit next to her husband.
Should have. That's what you get. Tried to warn you. You wouldn't listen. What?
I'm just enjoying, like, I'm watching the weird little, like, blocks and things move around here, and it looks like very, very random, like, more so than usual. It's kind of fun, because I know that when you pull back out, I'll be like, oh my God, it was a building.
It's a horse.
It's a horse. Thank you. Pikeman says your NASA prints are awesome.
Thank you.
What's the most recent one you've done?
Ed White, Gemini one.
Yes. It's been a weird, like, even though I should have expected it, it was like when Dane put up the thing today about all the stuff he'd finished this year, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that piece.
Like, I'm always that way at the end of the year. I put up a thing for the year in review, and I'm like, holy shit, that was this year?
Yeah, but usually it's just because, like, we've been at shows and we've talked to people enough about it that I think it was, like, 3 years old.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, I completely forgotten that piece existed. Like, there was, like, a whole new, like, oh, yeah. Oh, wow, did I see this piece? I must have. Like, we sold some, but, like, yeah. It's been an odd year. Alright, so tell me what everybody's doing. I think it's looking really good.
Thank you.
Did you see what Spartan said?
I did not.
You also have several propaganda pieces.
Star Wars ones.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am trying to convince him to work on it. When he gets this one done, he's got another one in his head.
Yeah, I just need to come up with a...
Because he's been watching some stuff, so... Oscar says, did I see this? Where am I and what is going on?
Did you see what?
Exactly.
I don't know what's happening.
That's, I think, the point. Why is there just like a little mustache over there on your...
This is... I was trying to figure out if I can make a brush to do his webbing.
Oh.
So I could not have to go through and manually scallop each fucking line. Turns out, no.
No.
I mean, there probably is a way, but I couldn't figure it out, and that seemed hard, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. I'll just do it live.
So are you going to have to do his hands later still?
No, his hands are done.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, he doesn't do the full web down the hands, he just does the circles.
Oh. Okay.
So yeah, his hands are done.
Learning things. Ask Rolf Redeem, make me save.
Thank you. That's a good idea.
Glasgown's getting a late lunch, trying to stay nice and relaxed for her day off. The next 3 days are very busy. Yes, try to relax. You're finally watching Elf? I actually like Elf. I didn't want to like Elf. I wanted to hate it. I actually liked it. But it's been a long time since I've seen it. Like, it's been several years. What'd you think? Or are you in the middle of it, like, right now? And you saw Disassemble Christmas in the house? Or while you disassemble Christmas in the house?
Yes.
That, maybe. That sounds better. All signs... We have no idea what's going on. Anyone that expects us to know what's going on is highly likely to be disappointed. Okay, both of the cats are in their chair now.
Yay. Chair cats.
Chair cats.
Auto carrot. I agree. Down with auto carrots.
We usually watch... What's the darn thing called? It just went floop. The music is distracting me, I think.
Die Hard?
Yes. We usually watch Die Hard 1 and 2 every year. We didn't this year, though. This year has just been like a, man, let's just get it.
We didn't do it last year either.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
You know how I could tell? The DVD copy that I bought, because our old DVDs were missing in storage, are still wrapped in plastic.
They were on Netflix.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
Last year they were.
They were on Hulu, and we don't have Hulu.
We watched it.
No, we didn't.
He's wrong. Maybe the copies worked. I don't know. I remember we watched it. We watched a lot of Christmas movies.
We watched the thing about it. We watched the
We did watch that
movies
too.
that made us thing about it.
Yep, but that was the summer.
No, it was over Christmas because we were
Nope.
making Legos.
Welcome to us.
And we haven't done Legos since last Christmas.
You're waiting till Epiphany gives you an excuse to keep everything up a few more days.
I don't know what Epiphany is.
It's a calendar thing.
A day?
Yeah, it's a distraction. Now that I start to say this, like I have a feeling in my head, and then it's like, maybe not.
I have never had an Epiphany.
Never?
No.
It's January 6th.
What is it? Like, what is it? I don't know what it is. Why is that a day?
It's on the Christian calendar.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's why I was like, I don't remember exactly, but it's on the Christian calendar. It's the thing that a lot of times they preach about after New Year's, depending on how the calendar falls.
Oh. I never know what Ashley and Dana are saying.
Oh no! It just looks like we're saying. Well, good luck. Not he can't hear us.
Everybody talk bad about Jim right now.
I'm like, good luck for getting the baby to go to sleep. And I'm like, wait, he just literally said that he can't hear us. But let's go ahead and talk at him anyway.
Man, that Jim.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to do a lot of Christmas decorations and stuff, but I stopped.
My fault.
It's not his fault. It's fine. It's too much work. My dad and my stepmom were doing a bunch, though. I think they started, like, before Thanksgiving. It seemed like every time we talked on the phone, he was like, yeah, we're working on Christmas decorations. And I was like, didn't you do that last week?
Well, your parents do Christmas decorations. That's a month-long process.
More than that. It's a lot. It's a whole lot.
Tattletale.
Thank you, Oscar. And then we kept going once we realized, because why not?
Right.
We were on a roll. We had stuff to say. Well, this is very cheery music.
It is. Can't go wrong with Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers on a kettle drum, it sounds like.
This is the kind of music I would suggest for, like, grocery store. Like, in an episode where working at the grocery store was, like, hell. Overly cheerful and bright.
So what you're saying is We Three Kings is less a Christmas carol and more an Epiphany carol? And they just do it at the wrong time?
Thank you. It's a day when some Catholics give gifts. Yeah, I was... My dad's was a Methodist minister when I was a kid. So, like, we talked about it. It came up in sermons, but yeah. Not Catholic, so we didn't celebrate it as a holy day, I guess. Like, I remembered it came after Christmas and New Year's. I was seeing that, Ed, there's a guy on Twitter who's Muslim, but because of the lockdown, he spent the holiday with his secular Christian friends for the first time. So he was learning how to do Christmas right, and it was very wholesome and fun. Oh, I see. So it's totally appropriate to keep your tree up because you give gifts on Epiphany. Got it.
I think the best part about this version of the song is it's live, and I don't know what's happening, but everybody's super impressed by it.
I know, they're all very excited. Ooh. I don't know how much of this you guys can hear, but there's a lot of audience, like, ooh, ah, hee. I really enjoy the people that just get really, really into Christmas because they enjoy it versus, like, the people that try to push all the other stuff. I think secular and non-Christian people actually know how to do Christmas better than, like...
And religious people.
Personally, yes. Ooh, that's a question, guys. I expect everyone to have opinions about it. Hi, Prendleblast!
Hey, Prendleblast!
I was guessing that from the name, but thank you for helping me be sure. Okay. When you're driving around, and I gotta remember that Portland doesn't do lights the way the Midwest does lights, but you're driving around and you see decorations. Do y'all have, like, opinions? And I mean that with, like, a capital O, opinions about the lights? Because we're back in the Midwest now, and I grew up in the Midwest, so I have judgy feelings about it.
She does.
Plus, they really do lights here. And decorations and stuff. But, like, for instance, Glazian has feelings. Glazian is picky. Well, same. Okay, so, like, for instance, do you think there are decorations that people shouldn't be allowed to use anymore? Because they've done it wrong, and it's bad now.
I'm waiting to figure out where this is going.
Because full disclosure, Dane and I often will drive around on Christmas Eve and look at Christmas lights. Because that's just a thing. Or we'll get out and walk around or whatever. So we've developed opinions. Miss Erin likes the lights that complement the house. Thank you, yes. It's not about how many lights you have. It's about how well you use them.
Bushnet lights, basically.
Yes! Thank you! That was one of mine that I said, you're allowed in the car when we drive around. Also, some lights don't work with some houses. I think that all those spotlight things that they put on the house where they, like, do pictures and then they move around with patterns on the side of the house are ridiculous and terrible. I hate every single one of them. I've seen only 2 that, like, were somewhat, like, well placed, and even those were stupid and cheap looking. But somebody that's gone out of the way to put up like an actual screen for the thing, maybe it's allowed, depending on how they did it. Icicle lights always look like wrinkled clothes. They don't bother street. Miss Erin has really mixed feelings about light up penguins. Okay, I have mixed feelings about most of the blow up things. Like, for the most part, I think the blow up things with the light in them look terrible and I hate them. There was a few years ago, when it seemed like almost every house that put out more than like 2 strands of lights had a blow up Santa head just hanging there.
Yes, the disembodied heads. And I was
really upset with the disembodied blow up heads. Like, it was like everything I dislike about Christmas decorations all together. It was awful. Jim says our light up penguin didn't work after the first year. And Edike says there was a neighbor in Eugene that had a projection of a Christmas countdown on the side of the house. I like that. Because you drove by it every day. Clever, actually. See, yeah, that's not so bad. I mean, like, there was one here, and the house was kind of like a mid-century ranch, and it was brick in the front. And then they were projecting some kind of, like, colored pattern thing, but with their other lights, like, you couldn't really see it, so it almost just looked like you were getting sick when you looked at their house. Like, it was the worst version. Like, it was terrible. Oscar Wolf just likes the regular old lights. Not fancy.
Me too.
Okay. Well, see, like Pikeman says, but my blow-up Christmas Darth Vader and Yoda are awesome. There's a house over in the one neighborhood Dane and I go walk through that has blow-up Christmas dinosaurs.
Yes.
And that was the thing that convinced me that the right blow-up stuff can be very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Are we going to get a blow-up the child? Oh, no.
Oh, my.
That would be the worst.
I mean, I'm surprised that we haven't. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen, like, a Mandalorian mativity with, like, Mando and Cara Dune and the child. Holy shit.
Things like next year.
God damn it. That doesn't exist by next year. I'm going to have to do that. That'll be our Christmas card for next year or something.
Jim usually puts up a Christmas airport outside with blow-ups, but it wasn't feeling it this year. Glazian is so tired of the child. Okay, what is the child?
It's Baby Yoda.
Oh, the baby. Yeah, okay. Slowly replacing all of the decorations with LED. Dane, you need to draw this, apparently. You could go ahead and draw it. That could be our Christmas card for next year if you draw it.
Literally just said that.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry.
Sorry, you don't listen to me. It's fine.
So LED is allowed because it's just economical.
I mean, yeah.
Well, Oscar Wolf's...
It's also good for it's better for the planet.
Right. Well, Oscar Wolf's sharing the rules, and I agree. Like, old-fashioned is better, but LED is okay.
I mean, you can go old-fashioned and have LED at the same time.
LED can be done wrong.
I'm a little surprised I don't want to see this.
And, like, I think that every type of light can be wrong.
There it is. Blow up the child.
What I love is part of that looks real and part of it looks like they just drew it in.
Yeah.
In Photoshop. I think I've seen some people draw. Now, full disclosure, I haven't seen the TV series, so I have no opinions about the TV series at all. And etiquette, I think this is the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of the Baby Yodas I see are terrible, but I've seen a few artists draw it really cute, and even I was like, ooh, it's so cute. I might want that, and I don't have any connection to it at all. So, like, it can be done well. I think most of them just don't. Like that one. Oh, Lord. I've seen some good uses, for example, of the net lights, but most people just tend to just throw them somewhere and think, oh, good, I'm done. I decorated really well. And I'm like, that looks like shit.
Or like decorated, period. Full
Right.
stop.
I'm like, you should have just left that shit in the thing. Like, why did you do that? That says, hey, look, I half-ass everything. Also,
All right.
you probably shouldn't buy my house in the future.
See you later,
Bye,
Pike
Pike
Man.
Man.
Thanks for stopping in.
Happy New Year to you, too. Feel free to stop in another time.
What?
I'm just like... I do. I think that people that half-ass their Christmas lights and stuff that look really shitty versus just not putting them up, I do. I think that would be a judgment. I'd be worried about buying their house. Because you know that's how they fix their house, too. Oscar says anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. And Attica says whole ass or no ass at all. Yes! Squeeze the whole damn ass in there or don't do it.
That's uncomfortable.
Yes, Miss Erin does a single simple string of LED lights that throw happy light circles on the house. It's draped, and I'm holding it down for simple. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
That's entirely reasonable.
We were making fun of some of these houses so bad last year. There was a house last year that had it's like they'd gone and bought 2 of those net light things, and they'd thrown them on 2 different bushes poorly. But they didn't even choose, like, opposite bushes on the yard, so it was even. And they had other bushes, so it was just, like, they started to toss them on bushes and then looked around and were like, huh, and went inside. Like, it looked like they'd started decorating and just stopped. Like, yeah, it was terrible. So what if you had a projection of a house with good decorations and you put that on your house?
Do it.
If it could be seen. Mosey's projections on the houses can't really be seen.
Well, because a lot of times they're putting this weak-ass projection lamp underneath where they've got, like, the floodlights outside.
Yeah,
So you can't see them very well. It's just kind of vaguely moving
globules or
of
whatever.
colored light.
Put up a screen in front of your house. Put the projection of a house with good decorations on the screen, and I would think that was smart. I'd be like, that person understands.
Just put up a TV screen of that one house that does the moving lights every year. Just put that up.
Like, if it's the thought that counts, you had great thoughts moving forward.
Is that the rule? Is it the thought that counts?
I don't know. I just remember, like, I think I was, like, assaulted in my dreams by those floating Santa heads. It felt like there was a year where every house that was decorated had one, and I was ready to go start popping them. It's like, Dane, get a bow and arrow. We're just going to start sending people. We're going to help them not have that up. Oh God, the laser grids on the houses. No. Well, there you go, Etiquette. Not only, like, you put the screen up, and then you find a house not just with great decorations, but also a great paint job. 2 in 1. Oh no, your dream idea? Is it a good dream idea, or, like, you woke up and were like, what the fuck?
I had one of those terrible dreams last night. It involved cheeseburgers being dunked in fondue. It was very strange. And then going to the White House.
Like cheese fondue?
Yeah. Like making a full cheeseburger,
Yeah.
putting it on a stick, and then dunking it into fondue.
I'm not against that idea.
It was very weird.
Well, sure, but I'm still not against it.
Somehow it wasn't me that had this idea in my dream. Even like somebody else.
It was probably me.
No, some dude in the woods. He was doing it in the woods, and somehow he got an invite to the White House. And I went with him.
Hold on.
It was a weird fucking dream.
Oh, God.
I don't remember who it was.
You met a guy in the woods who was dunking his cheeseburger in fondue.
It was a vat of cheese.
It was a vat of cheese fondue. Did you eat the cheeseburger covered in cheese fondue?
That. I don't remember eating it.
Oh, God. Okay. It's a board game like checkers, only huge. How big? Is it like Harry Potter chess big?
Insert palm grip emoji. Bigger than the Harry Potter.
But instead of checkers, it's like 50 pieces. Okay. Because so far, this is sounding like a thing you totally could convince people to participate in an anime convention.
Yes.
Do we get a janky-looking envelope from Jim? I didn't get any envelope from you, I don't think.
We got a Christmas card.
Oh, yeah, we totally got a Christmas card. Thank you, by the way.
We haven't gotten any envelopes yet.
I don't know that it looked janky.
I got a notification saying that I had a package or a piece of mail they couldn't take a picture of, but I didn't see it in the mailbox.
They couldn't take a picture of? Are they wanting to take a picture of all of our mail?
I've got so when we go out of town, I've got this thing called mail identification or whatever, and so it takes a picture of and sends me pictures of the mail that we're expecting for that day. And usually it's like.
But it does it now,
bills.
even though we're not.
I just haven't turned it off.
You should turn it on and not cost the post office the extra work.
All right, fine.
Where do we sign up for these janky envelopes? Oh, it's the 9 volts.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought we had gotten really lucky with the post, but it turns out that for whatever reason, the Kickstarter stuff, like half of it apparently just sat somewhere for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we've had several people that are like, hey, I got it yesterday, thanks. And we're like, wow.
Yeah. Like that son of a bitch went out in early December.
Mid-December, I think.
Well.
I don't know, I don't remember.
Earlier than now.
Weeks
December.
ago. People got it weeks ago. Like, as in multiple weeks, I think. Okay, so Etiquette is telling us the rules about this game.
Okay.
Dragons jump over shitty knights, but not over good knights. And the way we keep making money off of it is by releasing new repaint special editions of the pieces.
Oh, so it's Warhammer.
Lasnian says they don't mind. It's the same pick they use to sort them, isn't it? Oscar Wolf actually got mail today. Canada Post must be so far behind for my letter carrier to be working on a Sunday. Oh no. Yeah, Barb, some people, like a lot of people got theirs before Christmas, but then like So we just assumed everybody else was quiet about it, right? Like, because not everybody is like, hey, I got my thing. But no, like, just like yesterday and today, we started having a bunch more, like, another group of people talking about getting it.
Well, I feel like Full Metal Spartan was one of them. If he's still here.
So that's a weird thing. Oh no, Jim is asking Oscar Wolf if her mail came with a note saying sorry.
So it's Ready Player One meets Warhammer. I can dig it.
What's your second idea?
Star Trek Chinese checkers. What makes it specifically Star Trek? Just the shape of the board or something? Instead of having the six-sided star, it's just the swoosh.
This makes me worry about all the stuff we sent out.
What? Chinese checkers makes you worry
No, like hearing that some people only got their stuff today. Like, because we told people we're like, the post office, you know, anything you order after like the 15th, we can't guarantee, but like it sounds like stuff we sent before the 15th.
Yeah.
Didn't get there. Like, the post office actually said the 19th. I wonder how many people they've had to listen to scream at them.
Oh, probably a lot.
So many Karens.
All the Karens.
I'm sure Etsy Karen had lots of nice stuff to say.
Well, she was busy blaming sellers.
I bet she was spreading it around. I think she had a lot of blame. I don't think she had just that little bit of blame. Yay, you got a Charmander postcard last week! Oh no.
God, when did that go out?
I think in November. I think that's what we decided. Because when I went back to my notes, I think Oscar Wolf was missing November. And I went back and looked, and it was like the ones that I think it was November. Because November was the ones when handmade ones.
Yeah. I assumed.
Yeah, so like I think that's the oh no. Oh no. Oscar Wolf says I'm sure I'll see the pens before spring. Oh God.
I hope so. Time is hard. Time is hard, especially this year.
Yay! It took a month. I mean, a month isn't bad, right? A month is totally fine.
For crossing the border during COVID? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's fair.
Three-way casting wedding. That's awesome.
Oh no. Okay, wait. Galazzian got sent a crown. That's fun.
That's fun.
Dane would just abuse his powers if somebody sent him a crown. So probably they shouldn't.
Or should they?
Although, full disclosure, if you send Dane a crown, he'll probably wear it for a Twitch stream.
Almost guaranteed.
They're not efficient. I mean, Oscar Wolf, like, we've got the same issue. Like, our regular post guy does things the same way every time, usually, but, like, if it's a fill-in, sometimes we find out we get a package because we hear it being thrown against our door.
The swap!
That's it.
That's it. Gets pitched across our porch.
It's like, we're like, we either got mail or a hobo collapsed on our porch. I'm not sure which, but...
Could be both.
It's not, though. Like, our neighborhood... If some poor hobo was crazy enough to wander into our neighborhood, he'd have been chased away by a Karen by the time he ever got into us anyway.
That's true.
I mean, I don't remember what was in that package, but it was fine. I think it was like plastic or something. I don't know. If our magnets weren't so well packed, it'd be fun if they threw that and they just stuck to the door. Like the box just stuck.
I hear the smack and I'm like, what the fuck?
And you go open the door and you're like, there's nothing here. Close the door.
Which idea? The giant 50-sided die checkers thing, or
because I can't.
The Chinese checkers using.
The one issue, etiquette, that I'm going to throw out is most of us can't afford people-sized
unless the
characters
gets involved.
Galassia's like, yeah, she's still on the super game.
Human-sized pewter. I'm just imagining like I'm just like a full-size Iron Giant made of pewter.
Right, like that I think would be your one problem, is that most of us can't afford full-size characters for a game.
Otherwise, I'm underspending it.
However, if we can go back to those blow-up characters I dislike so much, that might be her way of doing it.
There we go.
And I'm with you on you have to have different ones for special editions and limited runs and celebration colors, and yeah, that's all. Like, that's just what your average company does now. It's not 50-sided, it's just 50 pieces.
Oh.
Gosh,
but it's 50
Dane.
pieces per side, right?
Sigh. Pay attention.
I can't pay attention.
Dane's like, no. She'll make an app for regular people, but those ridiculous rich people who want nerd cred.
Oh, there you go. May as well get some of their money.
I still really think that this could be, I think character chess or character checkers could be really, really fun at a con. Especially, there's a lot of cons that are near parks.
Yeah.
Go out and, like, lay out a checkerboard. Like,
I'm surprised that nobody's done this at KamuraCon.
And get the cosplayers to be pieces. That could be so much fun. Like, that personally I think could be a lot of... I'd love watching that. That'd be great. Especially if you had awards for the cosplayers that stayed in character the most. So, like, if that particular character takes, like, One Punch Man does a huge, giant punch for when they take characters or, like, other pieces, that'd be great. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great.
See? Okay, Etiquette says they've done character chess at Kuma.
Okay.
They can't even get enough people to show up for the games? What?
Boo.
That's not cool. That would be so much fun. You need to get somebody fun to do the announcing for it.
I feel like it should be like a con-sponsored thing, and then they should have one of the guests do it.
Like one of the guests that really understand, like makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the voice actors or something.
John Barrowman, human-sized chess, Dragon Con next year.
Oh God. Human-sized chess after dark.
After everybody's been drunk for like 3 hours.
3.
I said everybody, not just the...
Everyone normal people.
Not just the hardcore dragon people.
You need a small variation for a starter set, then you upgrade to the full set. There you go. The problem is, how do you get licenses for all of these characters?
Franklin Mint has a way, so
Franklin Mint.
there must be a way.
Because it's hard if you're going to make it a game. Use knockoffs. I mean, if you could get people with the right sense of humor to use like funny knockoffs, like intentionally bad knockoffs that are like that could be part of the fun of it. Like a Mad Magazine kind of play on it. I mean, I even think you could do, instead of doing 50 characters, I like the idea of starting with the smaller ones, but you have sets. So, like, you have a cryptid set that's a smaller set, right? And if you order the whole cryptid set, then there's a limited edition piece you could only get by ordering the box set, right? Or 2 or whatever. And then there's a fantasy whatever box set, and then there's like you put them in types, and then you have certain pieces that are, you know, like you have the Monkey Minion edition of the cryptid set or whatever, and he does a piece, and you can only get that by like whatever thing that you and we together dream up, right? Like that, like. And if you're going to do cryptids, actually, we have a friend that you would need to do her edition of this piece. If you do fantasy, don't release a fairy. Just promise to do it for, like, years. Oh, Lord. Posture check. I love the idea of doing like, but like take like do a Monty Python like Mad Magazine spin on like, and because superheroes, I forget which one, but one of the companies owns superheroes. The word
Marvel and DC
co-own or something.
Co-own the
so
trademark.
Do like Super People edition or something, right? Like, and then and just carry it from there.
Superhuman.
No, it's Super People. Full of people who are super. You thought I said tights instead of types? I mean, depending on what we're talking about.
Super folk. It's all just
dudes
with long
folk.
hair and guitars and tapes.
Super folk edition. There's got to be a nerd band that would work with you on that.
I mean, if you can't get the double clicks, it's not worth doing.
Well, yeah. Oh, Lord. Like the limited edition Superman that's not really Superman is a dude in tights, but he's got like just his shirt on. Like the work shirt on that's half open. Because, you know, they always show like Superman in the whole suit with just his shirt ripped open to reveal the emblem. Right. So you got to do the opposite of that. Attica says that Jonathan Colton guy.
That Jonathan Colton guy.
Or just flat out, they might be giants. Yeah, there's options. Oscar Wolf agrees with this. Double clicks or bust. Like, and that's true because like you could do a lot of pirate ones, and as long as you like a lot of those pirates are based on real stories or people, right? Like, so as long as you didn't use like the Disney version from Pirates in the Caribbean, like a pirate one would be great. I want a pirate chess set. Full multi-artist soundtrack. Well, yeah, because I feel like each theme set needs a soundtrack. Like, that just seems like, or at least a piece. Like, they all need a theme song that is featured in all of the videos about that piece. And anytime you come up with a new piece for that set, then you reuse that theme song. Maybe even pay your musical artist to jazz it up a little bit as time goes on.
Make it pretty, music monkey.
Oh my god. The pirate one could come with an extra Blackbeard, so when you accidentally burn the first one, you can have the burned and not burned edition. And you have to like open the package of the Blackbeard, and the package is full like a giant sticker that says, "We are not responsible for anything you set on fire in this set." Miss Erin, I feel like if Blackbeard isn't made with 100% real beard hair and fire, then, you know, we haven't pushed this as far as we could.
Ugh. Ugh. No. Why though?
Okay, when I worked at Toys R Us, there was a volcano kit that said, "Caution, not non-inflammable."
Is that like 3 negatives equaling a positive? I'm not licking toads.
Burning hair scented.
A long Furby candle.
The Gym Socks edition.
I don't know where that long Furby thing started, but I'm kind of sad that it's horrible. Maybe the worst thing the internet has wrought. And the internet has wrought, like, you know, everything.
There was an artist on Annie. R.I.P. Annie.
R.I.P. Annie.
There was an artist on Annie who went out and found like Furbies at like old Furbies at like Goodwill or whatever, and then altered them. And the problem is they were actually really nice, so they were horrifying. They were like the worst, most terrifying things. Every time they put them up, I was like, ah. Because the work was really good, guys, and in some ways that made it so much worse.
Oh, 100% would have had to make it worse, yeah. Because they're already unsettling. Not non-inflammable is only double negative, okay.
My question is, did somebody mess that up when they printed it on there? Or was that the legalese that their lawyer came up with, once we have this on here, we can never get sued for anything? So who the fuck knows what this means? No one does. I'm a genius. Etiquette, that's horrifying. Maybe it's a negative rhombus. Etiquette agrees that it was probably on purpose. In which case, it was probably a lawyer that did it.
The Furby and a paint shaker. The Furby one. Alright, I'm going to look that up.
It probably did. Because aren't they made to recognize, like, when they're being squeezed on foamy? Oh, Lord. Furbies are so terrifying, guys. They're so horrifying.
I can totally see somebody wearing that at a convention. A shirt that says "Squeeze me on foamy."
Ew. Double and triple.
Oh, that was for Floam. I remember Floam. I'm going to open this link so I can watch it later, but not watch it right now.
Okay. Yeah, I remember being in college the first time I saw a Furby at, like, Walmart or something, and just being, like, not sure how to react.
Wait, really? I thought Furbies were way earlier than that.
Nope. Oh no, Furbies weren't one of our toys.
No, and I know that. I thought they came out like, when was it, mid high school?
Nope. College.
They didn't come out when I was in college.
I think you just said that she worked at Toys R Us before Furbies. And you were like, what's a... She says mid-90s. I might be
Yeah, so that
wrong.
would have been like...
Look it up. You're already doing it. Also, I need coffee. Do you need something to drink? No.
Released in 98.
So, yeah, that would have been the year I graduated.
Yeah.
So, St. Joe would have gotten him probably a year or two late.
Yeah.
So, yeah, makes sense that I would have seen him in college.
Yeah.
And you're a year behind me, so you might have seen them at the end of college or high school. Because you worked at Walmart at that point, didn't you?
I worked at Walmart until college.
That might have been when you saw him in the very beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's even long before that. I remember kids in school having them.
What?
Ask her about
Hydrate, Dane.
Back.
Why would high school kids have had Furbies?
Who knows?
They used to talk to each other. I know, and they
Because,
freaked me right there.
like, why did high school
out.
kids have fucking Beanie Babies? Because reasons.
Oh, because that was like a thing to show off that your boyfriend gave it to you.
Was it?
I don't know. It seemed like it was.
I never had a boyfriend in high school, so I don't know. One of the schools I went to in high school, the social studies teacher was also the football coach. So, you know, he was one of those guys. So whenever he gets frustrated in class, he had a Tickle Me Elmo that he would boot across the room, and he called it Kick Me Elmo. Yeah, he was one of those very clever witty type dudes.
The fun teachers.
Yeah. Well, he was a football coach and a social studies teacher.
They all were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Night, Aaron.
Night, Aaron. Have a good evening.
Enjoy your dinner. Don't forget to fund your Kickstarter. Ooh, 4 a.m. What? Night, Oscar Wolf. Is everybody leaving?
Is everyone going? No, not you, Miss Aaron. What?
Everybody's like, Aaron's gone, the party's over, I'm out.
Oh no. Here I am, baby. What the hell? Okay, the thing I haven't heard though is where is the glow in the dark?
Point. Thanks can be a character. Good night, John Boy.
Night, Martha. Night, Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Are these actual characters?
I have no idea.
Show, movie thing?
I don't know. They sounded like farmer characters. Like, I had a grandma Martha, so who was a farmer's wife, so there you go.
Why did you say that name? Batman vs. Superman, Martha.
Oh! I saw that movie and I had managed to forget it.
Why I made that.
I was like, what the hell just happened? That was a terrible movie I sat through.
Yep. We skipped Deadpool to see that movie.
I know!
I feel dumb.
Yep. Dane got mad at me because I kept, like, I would be like, oh wow, I think we've been in here a long time. And I'd lean over and be like, where's Wonder Woman? And he'd be like, you gotta wait longer, it's toward the end. And I'm like, haven't we been in here for 10 years yet? It feels like we have. And he's like, no, we haven't been in here that long. And I'm like, you're lying, I starved to death 2 hours ago.
Nice full bed smell, Spartan. Hopefully it will continue to not.
How's it? How much have you got? Oh, okay, we can see. Oh, I see. You've added a thing down there.
Yeah, somebody. So the other night on Twitter, like you guys can't see this, but the other night on Twitter, one of the artists I follow, Jen Bartel, was talking about things that she's figured out to help her process, speed up, and one of them is to have a smaller version of whatever you're working on open on the screen at the same time, so you don't have to keep zooming in and out looking at what you're doing. And so I've got that set up in the bottom corner of my screen so I can see the whole thing while I'm working around and moving, like you can see what I'm doing.
It's real nice.
So it's neat. Although it occurs to me, maybe I should make that the screen for the Twitch versus the one that keeps getting zoomed in and out like crazy pants.
Dude, I feel like that's the only thing that Safeway Sushi would make better at Ike, is that movie.
So you keep having to leave because you're throwing up.
I mean, that could be alright. I'd have been happy to have an excuse. That movie was the worst. Yeah, it's real nice, Spartan. Like, it feels like one of those things that now I'm just like, well, why haven't you been doing that this whole time? This seems obvious now.
Yeah. Well, that's not what I wanted to do.
Ooh, he says Procreate just added that, but he never uses it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the reference thing in Procreate. I haven't figured out how to make it work in Procreate yet. I've been playing around with what's it called? Fresco a lot recently.
What does Fresco do that Procreate doesn't?
The brushes are a lot nicer. They work a lot more like actual paint versus just draw, no, it doesn't work. So we'll just delete that. Sorry, I was trying to do too many things at once. Move that. Okay. Yeah, so it actually feels a little bit more like moving paint around and versus just kind of making marks. There are things that Procreate does better. I like the way that Procreate handles lines and circles and stuff, but better. Because you know me, I like to have smooth lines and smooth shapes, and I can't really get that in Fresco as well. But for just drawing and painting, it's quite nice, actually. What the hell?
So you've been using it. So when you've been doing sketching,
Yeah. Most recently, most of my Wednesday night sketches have been doing it in Fresco.
Now, so when you've been sketching in Procreate, you could always then take that into the computer later as the kind of file you do. Help me out. Like Illustrator? What is that? It's not Illustrator, it's this type of file versus the like when you work in Illustrator, it is a what kind of file?
AI file?
No.
Yes.
That's not what I'm looking for.
Vector?
Yes!
Procreate
that
doesn't
word.
do vector.
Okay.
Fresco kind of does vector, but not.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you were gonna use it in a larger piece, you'd still need to redraw it in Illustrator.
So the way the vector works in Fresco is it's just brushes. So like I can draw in vector brushes. When I bring it into Illustrator, all those brushes get transported into outlines. So it's just a random fucking bunch of vector shapes that look like brushstrokes.
Okay.
So it's a mess
Right.
when you try and open up Illustrator. When I was doing this stuff for Technique Tuesday, I was trying to do that, and that's what added like 4 hours of work to that one program, that one file.
Right. Okay, so like it doesn't have any. It's exactly the same amount of work if you were to try to do that, which is you would have to basically redraw it.
Yes.
Okay. Do you still feel like Procreate is a valuable program for the price?
Yes. Especially since I got it for free.
Right, but even now, like I think it's like $20 or something. Am I wrong? I don't know. I feel like that's what
I got
you
it for
told me.
free. I have no idea how much it cost. I got Procreate way back on the first iPad we bought. Actually, no, I think I got it on our first phones. Back when it was a new thing and it was
Right.
free to download. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I have no idea how much.
to be working on anything, we won't judge you. Just curious. I mean, Dane might judge you. I don't know.
I'm a very judgy person.
Right. Everyone knows that about you.
Yes.
Right. I'm just sitting here, like, stupidly dreaming of my Persona 5. Just sitting there waiting for me to play it. But I was good and did things like laundry and dishes today.
You were good.
I love how dishes sounds like, oh, I did some dishes. Like, no. Like, I unearthed our kitchen. It was like an archaeology experiment.
I was.
It was so bad. Ooh. I honestly like Glazian. I used to, like, I still like onions when they're cooking, like when Dane cooks them. And I never understood when people were complaining about cooking onions. And then one year at Rose City, we were, like, down the aisle from one of those, like,
it was the sausage.
The sausage thing in the vendor hall, and they were cooking onions all day long, and we're like 3 booths from them. And I couldn't eat cooked onions for like a week after that. And I love cooked onions. It was like, you're like, oh, are you going to go have a brat after this? You going to go eat a sausage? And I was like, never again. Yay! Etiquette is making inspirational wallpapers. Glazian's thinking about pulling up a line arts color.
Yay.
I mean, do that if you want, but you're relaxing on your one day off, so Glazian, so, like, no judgment. If you're just like, screw you, I'm gonna watch you guys work.
Hooch!
Woo! Thank you, Lightbringer
Thank you.
Kitty. Etiquette says, dude in this manga I just finished, he has this thing he can do. And it's like kill people but also fix things. And he has this line about restructuring. And I really like the idea for 2021. No rebuilding, just restructuring.
There you
go. And Lightbringer Kitty says, hooch, hooch,
hooch.
hooch.
Hooch, hooch, hooch.
You just love that word.
I do. It's a great word. That's why I used it.
Oh my gosh.
I wish I could edit the thing so we could add the werewolves to it.
Right. Hooch and werewolves.
Hooch and werewolves.
Space werewolves. Space track werewolves, apparently.
Track. Track and field werewolves in space.
Guys, if you weren't here before, by the way, the Hooch Challenge has been updated. Dane will not only drink terrible beer, but he will play a terrible video game that is a running simulator in space with werewolves. Etiquette is Hoochie Mamas. The quality of this video game looks to be subpar, so it should be great.
It does look subpar. Oh, it looks so subpar. Calling it subpar might be like an insult to subpar things.
It might be great. You never know. Some of those are hidden gems.
Some of them are.
I've never heard of a running simulator on a console, so... Well, Etiquette, I think a lot of us could use some restructuring, so... Let's hope that we restructure better. Etiquette saw a game today that was new but reminded her of Wolfenstein 3D.
In a good way or in a bad way? Also, was it Wolfenstein, any of the new Wolfenstein games?
Oh, so what was that other game called that we got that we're going to start playing on Mondays? And possibly other days. Eventually. Ellen something?
Edith Finch?
Oh yeah. So, Etiquette, this game that we got is Edith Finch, The Life of Edith Finch. And it looks like there's like multiple levels and point and clicks and all kinds of stuff. So, Etiquette says it looks like it's intentionally reminding.
I'm trying to remember Wolfenstein 3D. I don't remember it very well.
Like,
I do remember Nazis.
like probably tomorrow I'm still gonna play Persona 5 because I'm obsessed. But soon, Edith Finch.
Soon.
Is Persona 5 good? I'm enjoying it. And I think, like, it would behoove you to look it up, even if you weren't into playing it. It is a point and click, or not point and click, it is a turn-based RPG, but the game has so much style.
It's very stylish.
There's so much style happening, and, like, there's so much art that happens, like, in the fighting, all the characters have splash screens, and they have all kinds of, like, and it all fits. Even the music is all part of this style and experience, and it's great. Like,
behoove! Indeed.
Yeah, so, like...
Rot. Oh, it is very similar. I can see the Wolfenstein.
Oh. Yeah, weird.
They move around a lot like Wolfenstein.
Yeah. Like old school.
Yeah. That double speed, single player, running, gunning thing. I like the killing a rat with a scythe. That's fun. Okay, that looks ridiculous. Apparently comes out in 3 weeks. It does remind you of the May screen. Yeah, it's very much that May screensaver.
Yeah, and okay, those games always, like, they look interesting to me, but I'm not good enough at them that they're just an exercise in frustration when I actually try to play them. And if you're interested, Spartan, probably, like I said, probably for our stream tomorrow, I'll be playing Persona 5. So if you want to check it out, like I said, I think the art and the experience of it is really, really interesting. I don't know. Are you going to try playing it someday?
Why someday? I really want to get the art of book.
Like, you can definitely tell that someone had a vision and art directed this game completely. Like, that's one of the things I really like.
Oh yeah, they art directed the shit out of this game.
Like, everything fits towards this vision. And it all feels really cohesive, which is a thing that, like, some of these giant video games don't manage. Like, I love Dragon Age Inquisition, but, like, even just the tarot cards that they have of the main characters in the thing, like, they're not all the same art style.
Yeah, so they're kind of inconsistent.
And then there's, like, weird cutscene things. There's art in the background that's not the same style as some of the other art, that's not the same style as some of the tarot cards, that aren't the same style as some of the other cards for the monsters. Like, and it's all really nice, but it would have been great if they would have picked a cohesive style and made it all kind of fit together, and this does that. Persona 5 does this better than any, like, a big game I've played in a long, like, any of them I've played in a long, long time. So that, I think, is fun. And have I ever played The World Ends With You? No, what is The World Ends With You? Tell me about it.
Tell her about it.
Eddie loved American McGee's Alice, but it required speed and coordination, so she failed repeatedly. That sounds familiar. I would fail repeatedly too. And then get frustrated and make Dane. American McGee's Alice?
Yeah, the Alice games.
Oh.
You talked about them a lot for a while there.
We owned one of them, and I got partway through, and it required coordination, and I didn't have it. It got too hard, I think.
I don't think we ever owned one.
The slasher Alice? Yeah, we had like the second one, I think.
Really?
Yeah. I was obsessed because for the longest time you couldn't, it was only a computer game.
Right.
The first one, I got to play a little bit of it on a friend's computer, like way back in the day, and just, it blew my mind. I hadn't seen a video game that amazing, and, you know, and interesting, and yeah. Okay, so The World Ends With You was a game that originally came out back on 3DS. They came out with a remake. Interesting. They have a fun art style. Is it on one of the main consoles? Xbox or...
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, or PS4. Because we are not computer gamers.
And we never had a 3DS, which is a Nintendo.
Right.
Handheld.
Yeah, I don't have the handheld things.
I never had a handheld.
Etiquette kept drowning and the ants killed me many times. Yeah, like, I wanted to play, like, I dreamed about that, like, what I saw of that original art, Alice. Like, it just really stuck with me for a long, long time. Glasdine says the remake is for Switch. Yeah, we don't have a Switch, so...
I feel like they... Yeah, not the World thing. Yeah, that one. The KFC console.
Like, we have a lot of backwards consoles, but we're not handheld. We don't have any handheld stuff. We have all the, like...
Just phones.
God, I'm trying to think. Like, we have... I don't want to say we have all, but we have a bunch of backwards-facing consoles.
We have all the Nintendos up to the Wii, except for the GameCube.
Yeah, we're missing the GameCube. We have a Wii. We don't have a Wii, whatever the second one is.
Wii U, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have the handhelds. We got a PlayStation 2, a PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One.
It feels like a lot more than that when you pack it. But it is like the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 360. I really enjoy... I should make Dane go back on one of our streams and play whichever Alice we have. We'll have to figure out which system it's on. I think it's the second one. I don't think it's the first one, which is too bad.
Yeah, we got Madness Returns on 360, I think, which I don't think we can stream.
Boo! We'll have to figure out if there's a way we can port it over to the Xbox One and stream it.
Maybe.
There might be. Because Dane's better at the hand-eye coordination thing. Like, it's a little platformy for me to be that good at it. Like, I'm not... But I enjoyed what I played. It just got to a point where I couldn't. Like, there was a level I couldn't get past. Yeah, well, in some of those games, there's jumping, and I find it really hard to figure out, like, where the thing is. Like, the cameras get a little wonky, and then suddenly I can't figure out where I'm going. And I just flail, and Dane just sits there and starts giggling hysterically, watching me just jump into space over and over and over.
Sometimes that's pretty funny. In my defense.
It's only happened a lot. Spartan wants to know if you've played Miles Morales.
I haven't yet.
It's on PS5, yeah?
It's on PS4 too, but it's new and poor. I want to, though. I desperately want to.
It might have, I don't remember. And if it did, that just means that I fell slower into space. Attica says it's important to support each other in a healthy relationship. Spartan says it's great.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, like he loved Spider-Man.
Well, he knows.
I know, but maybe everybody else didn't.
That's true.
Gosh, Dane.
I don't know what anybody knows.
So Dane got me Persona 5 Royal for Christmas this year.
Kramis.
Dean got all of the BioShocks remastered. And I'm trying to remember the other thing.
God of War.
God of War. Like the more recent one.
God of War's on the PlayStation, though, so I haven't played it yet.
Right. Man, that first BioShock, again, I played that and enjoyed it up to a point, although it scared me. It was a little, like, what's the word for when things are atmospheric? Yeah. The atmosphere was almost a little much for me.
Intense.
But I played that first one up to a certain point, and then it got too hard for me. I just was like, no, I can't do it. But Dane played it solid. Like, he beat the game in, like, 2 days. But he played for, like, a day and a half solid.
I stayed up all night Thanksgiving night, the night we bought it.
Like, I actually went to sleep and then woke up, and he was, like, almost at the end, and all, like, red-eyed, and just, like... I think that's the first game he's ever played to that, like, that crazy level.
Like, since I was, a kid. Because, when we were younger, and that was the only way to beat a game was to stay up all night and do it.
Right, but,
Nintendo
like...
Nintendo or whatever.
Since you've had to do, like, actual... Yeah. Liberca says, shoot them, then set them on fire. Or set them on fire and then shoot them. Yeah, I enjoyed those games. The art's beautiful in them. The last one, Infinite, had such a great soundtrack. I love that soundtrack.
Oh, God, yeah. The barbershop quartet versions of, like, all of the oldies.
So great. Good. Try to think. Have y'all played any of the Far Cry games? Because Dane just finished 5.
Dane did just finish 5.
And that was a thing that happened.
That was an experience.
Like, he liked playing the game, I think. Mostly.
I did. The great game was great.
The story, I think, kept interfering with the gameplay.
That's true.
Like, I'd look over and something weird and awful would be happening and be like, yeah, I gotta get kidnapped again.
Now I gotta be kidnapped.
Hate this. I don't know, I was getting ready to do some cool hunting and they freaking interrupted me. I was like, what?
I did 100% play that game as a hunting simulator with story bits mixed in.
It felt like you liked the, like, okay, go take back this section or this business or whatever from the crazies. It's just then, like, there was kidnapping and story.
Shooting backwoods cultists in the face a lot was nice. That was cathartic.
I just kept coming in on things and being like, oh yeah, I'm not going to play this game.
Oh, there's some messed upness about that game. About that Far Cry 5 game. I don't know about the rest of them. I don't know if they all have that.
Well, people have said 4 is great. Like, and it doesn't have that. Like, I read, when I was looking up the ending for you to find out, like, if it was all going to be that bad.
I fucking ending.
People were like, "Oh no, 4 is way better. Like 4 has a great story. It's got all the stuff, like the fun parts of 5, plus a great story." And I was like, "Cool." Night, Barb.
Night.
Cats are dead to the world.
Well, they're up much longer than they're usually up today.
Yeah. Well, they had a laser to chase for like 7.5 minutes.
That's true.
Uh-oh. We're being asked for a cat cam.
Oh. I can figure. Let's see. Be right back.
Just use your phone.
I don't know if I can do that with my phone. Let's find out.
We're learning things. In case his mom's gone, bring out the strippers and blow.
Where were you keeping them?
That's a good question. Cat cams should be one of the point and use things.
Should be. Screen mirroring.
We're making learning.
We are making learning. Come on.
Edige is actually in the market for strippers and blow. Her sister's going out of town for a week starting next Saturday. Are you going to be in the house by yourself?
I should have just turned off the music because I'm an idiot.
Wow, how many things did you have open?
A lot.
Like 10 million.
Shush.
My phone asked me the other day, I was closing out a bunch of internet screens, and it asked me, "Do you want us to close screens after 30 days or something?" And I was like, "Don't you dare." There wasn't an option for that, though. I felt like there should be a yes, no, and hell no. I think you made it work. Felt
No.
like you did.
Yeah, but I gotta get into here. Okay, we'll see if this works. It's huge.
It's alright, it's the cats. They can be huge.
Well, I'm worried that you won't be able to see it because it's too damn big.
You play with that. I'm gonna go find the cats. Hi, kitties. Can you see them?
Not yet. There's one.
Kitties. This is the way Digit's sitting. You can't tell, like. Oh, but you can see why she's Digit.
Yay, Digit.
Her little paw with her little one gold toe.
Yep.
Yeah. Gold toe. She's just like where.
Don't turn the camera sideways. I had it all set up the other way.
This is how it's always been.
Well, it messed up.
Oh, well, here, you want like this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got one gold toe on one foot and then like a half a gold toe on the other one. So yeah, Digit.
Yeah, but like.
Also, couch. Enjoy the couch.
Cool toe.
Gold toe.
Also, she's purring.
Oh, of course she is.
Okay.
It's a very nice fabric. It's very old.
Goodwill special. I almost made her call. Like, I was like, Dane, should we call her Toes? Because I noticed the gold toe. And he was like, no, let's call her Digit. I was like, oh, that's so cute. And it turns out she's cute, so it works.
Yeah.
Twinkle Toes.
Oh, that's cute.
That's adorable. It was probably nice fabric like 50 years ago. It was a Goodwill special, and Dane loves it.
It's very comfortable.
I'm so excited.
Oh, what?
Pot roast.
Yeah. Me too.
Guys, Dane made pot roast today.
Dane did make pot roast.
Like earlier, he'd had it in, but it hadn't started to smell yet. And so I was like, what are we making for dinner? And he was all like, pot roast? And I was like, oh yeah. And I sat there and watched you put it all together, but I can't smell it yet, so.
It doesn't exist. So what's in it is pot roast. It's a chuck roast. And potatoes and carrots and turnips and Brussels sprouts, onions and garlic, celery, some thyme.
I hope
water.
you meant that literally. No, he doesn't put wine in his pot roast.
No. Never occurred to me.
Onions.
Onions.
I don't think we had any peppers left.
No, I wouldn't put peppers in there either.
You wouldn't put green peppers in?
No. They would all be smishy and...
Yeah, you cut them small so they had flavor.
No alcohol.
That's some music choices.
What the hell?
I kind of love being an adult. Like yesterday, for dinner, we had green bean casserole.
It's true.
Like homemade green bean casserole, but still, like, that's what we had for dinner, was just 2 heaping bowls of green bean casserole. It's like, it's a side. I'm like, not if you eat enough of it.
I'll bet I don't cook a lot with alcohol. I just don't, for whatever reason. It just never really occurred to me. Yeah, exactly. There's some veggies in it.
Oh, there's a lot of veggies.
Oh, yeah, the green bean casserole is all veggies.
Oh.
Name one thing I said.
Gravy. So much gravy. I mean, it was mushroom gravy, but it's still a lot of flour. And you fried all your onions and stuff. Like, it's not good for you per se, but it wasn't bad. Like, it's not the worst thing you could eat. It's not like potato chips.
How dare you?
We had cheese, crackers, and grapes for New Year's. Also, we had the additional fun of trying to fight off the cats, because the cats are obsessed with cheese.
Cats love cheese, turns out. News at 11.
Right. Well, and, like, so Digit just, like, gets told no and then tries to be sneaky about it. Jack gets told no and then picked up because he ignores you and then moved. And then he waits for, like, 5 minutes and then he comes back and he doesn't even try to be sneaky. He just comes over and acts like he's just there, like, every day is normal. Like, he's just going to join you in your feast. But he does that, like, And then he's all surprised when you're like, no, Jack, you can't eat off my plate. Stop this. Like, you've never been able to eat off my plate. And he's like, what?
It's like, I remember.
I always... What? He gets all offended and affronted because, like, he never gets to eat off. But he thinks it's new. He's like, oh no, like, we do all the time. Like, he just business, like, comes over. Like, he's gonna just...
Like, this is my spot.
Right, this is what I do. And then he'll eventually go away affronted and then come back 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, and try it again. Same way. No sneakiness, no ninja, just, hey, I'm here to eat my part of your meal. Like, Digital get told no, and she'll be sad about it, and then she'll just sit over and watch Dane with her big sad eyes, because she has resting sad eyes face. And she'll just watch him, and occasionally make a pathetic noise.
Yeah, the other night I was in here eating cheese and crackers and stuff, and she just sat right down there. So every time I looked, she's just like... I don't think she blinked the entire time I was eating.
Yep. Glassine moves Annie off the tables, and she goes, what? Why'd you move me? And then does it again. No malice, just confusion. That's Jack.
Like,
yep.
This is my spot. What are you doing?
Like, I don't understand. This doesn't compute that I wouldn't just get to share your meal with you. Like, you've never been allowed on the table. Why are you trying to get on the table? The table is where I live.
The table's where I live. How dare you, sir or madam?
Okay, the music's getting even worse.
Apparently it's the theme from Pokemon.
Glassine says Gen 2, New Barktown, I think.
There you go. I wouldn't know. The only Pokemon games I've played are Snap and Go, so...
I currently... Like, we can see how much you got done, which is nice. I currently have a plastic square.
Yay, square.
And the yarn ball.
Squares are important. Invited you to watch his stream and then forgot your username?
Did he invite you with your username? I forget people's usernames all the time. I'm terrible. It's like regular names.
I forgot my username.
Like, we've been pretty lucky because the majority of the time, people that are in our chat are regulars, and so I'm like, oh yeah, it's you again, yay! But why is that bird? Because you knew Pokemon. I don't think that's embarrassing. I think that's awesome. That says great things about you and your Pokemon abilities.
Yeah. keeping in mind that being a nerd is basically our job, so being a nerd is not going to be embarrassing from our perspective.
Mm-mm. I don't understand people that put it in the closet. Like, they take the nerd out and put it on like a jacket and then put it away. Like, how, though? And why? Glasner, are you one of the people that knows, like, all of the lore? And has read all of the the archives and all the stuff?
There are Pokemon archives?
I don't know if they're called archives, but there's a bunch of lore in the back end. Yeah, we always disappoint people who are super fans that find out that we play Pokemon, and then they'll try to talk to us about that stuff, and we're like, no, we play like the phone one, where we walk around and we click things and catch stuff. Like, I don't know. I'll try to dumb it down a little. I'll be like, no, like literally, like, there's the one that looks like a cat, and then there's the other one that looks like a different kind of cat. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know Pikachu.
Oh no, even I'm not that mean. Oh my god. Although I talked to a lady at a show, and she actually enjoyed Pokemon a lot, but she didn't like some of the people that would talk to her about Pokemon. And so her favorite thing was to be like, oh yeah, like I catch Pikachus. And she would just use Pikachu
as the generic.
on purpose.
That's great.
She's like, guaranteed, if they're annoying, just do that like 3 times. It usually doesn't take 3, but do it 3 times, they will leave you alone. I was like, oh my god. She's like, yeah, like I saw an old lady do it once, and the old lady meant it because she was trying to shop for like her grandkid or something. And I thought it was the funnest, like the funniest thing. And so then I've tried it since, and it works. You don't mess with anything competitive? Yeah. Like, thank you. Yeah, like, I really enjoyed the fact that, like, when I was in Portland, it gave me a reason to go out and walk, and a way to measure progress. And I like the exploration side of it. Like, especially with now, like, if you send people gifts from different places, then they can get eggs from different places. Like, I love all of that. Like, back when we actually traveled. Oh, yeah, I've seen some terrible things happen with that card game. I'd be real careful who I played with. Like, it feels like Pokemon, like, the card game players of Pokemon are very much like Magic players. And I've met, like, some cool Magic players, but boy, howdy have I met some Magic players that I don't want to even be around. Like, ever. Much less play a game with. Right, at a K&E olden times, when I left the house and went places. So, like, because it was fun to be like, oh, yay, like, we're going to New York Comic-Con, so I'm going to be able to send everybody gifts from places in New York. And they'll be able to get eggs from across the country, and yeah. Oh, really? Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are worse than Pokemon players? Like, I know, like, back in the day that was definitely true. Just because it used to be... Remember, I was like... I worked at Hastings and I was in college when Pokemon and Digimon, like, the card games hit the US. And I remember... like, the Digimon players were, or the Yu-Gi-Oh players were like a little bit older. So the Pokemon player kids would be like kids, and they'd be cute, and they'd be there with their parents like, I saved up and did chores so I could buy the new card pack, and it was adorable, and you're like, yay, I want to help you find the card pack or whatever, right? Like, we're all going to stand here and touch them all to try to get you the best one or whatever, because you're like 6 and you're adorable. And then like, there'd be the Yu-Gi-Oh players that would be older, and they'd be just awful. They'd be like little young Magic players. Like, no.
Gotta start somewhere.
But again, it was mostly just because they were older, but behaving exactly like the same or worse. Oh my god. Dane and I both worked at Hastings around that time. And you remember you used to have to go like dig through the drawer over in the filing cabinet off to the side at the front to get the card packs out?
I don't remember that. I'm not doubting it. I just don't remember it.
This is a choice.
That is a choice.
Yeah, so there was like a big filing cabinet, and we had to start locking the filing cabinet, which is a huge pain in the butt because then like only the manager on duty had the key.
I mean, that's why I never don't remember it, because I was never a manager.
We didn't lock them at first. Like, you'd lock them at night, but like a lot of times during the day we didn't lock them. But then
you worked there longer than
I did. We mostly didn't lock them because it was just easier, and like you could tell if somebody went over to start messing in the drawer, which is why we had to start locking them, because people started going over and messing in the drawer. And watching what's-her-face who took over music, Kelly?
Yeah.
Come over and be like, hi, so you want to take those cards out of your pocket? And do like the smiley, but she like kind of was a punk rock kind of, like she had that personality, like, I don't have any cards. She'd be like, so I saw you and it's no big deal right now, but you know, real quick, it's going to be a problem. And they're like, oh God. Can you imagine getting a police record because you stole Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
I've heard of people getting police record for dumber things.
I mean, that's fair. Glassman agrees with me, by the way, that Yu-Gi-Oh players are the worst. I don't know, like we were also behind because we were in the Midwest, so I'm sure that the games hit elsewhere sooner. But yeah, I was lucky enough to be in the first wave of the Pokemon, and those kids were cute. And they were young, and they were really into it. Because they were going to be just like the TV show.
Okay, that's pretty cute.
It was super cute. I'm sure some of them were, but
punk ass rude children.
I didn't have to deal with them. Like, I saw a Yu-Gi-Oh player like yell at his grandma because she bought him cards or something and they were the wrong ones. Like, and I was like, what kind of terrible person yells at their grandma? You're awful.
Yu-Gi-Oh players.
Also, like, she bought you some shit that was vaguely connected to a thing you like.
I think that's a good amount done for today.
Yep.
It's time for pot roast.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
You have a friend who is a registered judge for like all of the games.
Wow.
I don't have like, I would have been in jail for murder already.
Stabity.
Like that's not a thing I could do.
It is time.
It is totally time. It's almost 10:30. I'm hungry.
Yes.
I need pot roast.
Yes.
Mr. Raichu? What? No, oh, you were asking. Like,
We're never leaving.
no, I'm just imagining, like,
Roast.
so much roast.
Wow.
Like, I've heard stories of how some Magic tournaments went down, and I would straight up murder some people. We are going to roast.
We're going to go roast.
We're going to go roast.
Night. See you guys tomorrow for Persona 5 and Sketching.
Bye, guys.
Night.